Good afternoon. Welcome into the Conway Christian Sports Network. It is opening day of baseball season here at Conway Christian as the Eagles are set to take on Dardanelle in both teams' season opener. Conway Christian coming into the year with some high expectations after a promising season last year with a district runner-up, and then winning regional qualifying for the state tournament for the first time in 6 years here at the school. A lot of things to get to that we'll get to as the game goes on. So we'll introduce our lineups and our players and stuff as they go. Kendall Willis going to be on the mound for the Eagles. He's warming up. We'll be back here momentarily for the first pitch. All right, and we are ready to go. Kendall Willis on the mound for the Eagles. Behind the plate is going to be Reese Post. Stepping in for Dardanelle is their shortstop, Cam Evans. And we're ready for the first pitch. Willis winds and throws, and that one is driven into left field. Jacob Cass camps underneath it and records the first out of the ball game. One pitch, one out. So one away for Dardanelle. That brings up their third baseman, Manny Cabra. From the windup, here is the pitch from Willis. Fastball in there for a strike. 80 miles an hour on the gun. Oh, one pitch that's going to miss up and in for ball one. Counts 1-1. Winds and delivers. That pitch going to miss outside with the fastball, so the count runs to 2-1. That's going to miss in, and it's 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be lined over the head of the second baseman, Xander Stone, in right field for a base hit. So one on for the Sand Lizards with that base knock into right field. That'll bring up the three hole, their first baseman, number 2, Cam Olson. Throw back over to first base. Dives back in time. From the stretch, here's the pitch, a breaking ball. That's going to miss low for ball one. Time called from Reese Post. It's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. So that short meeting is over. We're back. It's a 1-0 count. Runner over at first base. Willis pitching from the stretch here. Comes home. Fastball in there for a strike. And the count evens up at 1-1. Albert gets the lead over at first base. Here's the pitch. Fastball is in there for a strike as the runner's going to take second on the stolen base. Counts 1-2. Runner moves into scoring position here with one away. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down the dirt. He watches it. Count evens up at 2-2. Stone holding the runner on at second base. Willis gives him a look. Comes home. Breaking ball. Fly ball into right. Caught by Preston Elliott out there in right field. He gets it in quickly. And there are two away here in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring up the catcher for Dardanelle, Baker Leon. Cabra is the runner out there at second base after a base hit to right field. Willis gives him a look, delivers a fastball. That one's driven to right field, and it is going to curve foul. You got a lot on that one, but it goes well foul down the right field line. And the count's going to be 0-1. So Leon's going to step back into the box here with the 0-1 count. The lefty batter for the Sand Lizards. Willis looks back at second. Now he's coming home. Breaking ball. That's driven into right field. Elliott leaping at the wall. He makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So some hard-hit baseballs, but only the one base hit. Runner stranded out there at second base, and we've got no score as we head to the bottom of the first inning. The Eagles coming up to bat. All right, welcome back. As we get ready for the bottom of the first inning, we take a look at the starting lineup for the Conway Christian Eagles. Isaiah Brister going to lead things off, followed by Xander Stone, Kendall Willis, Preston Elliott, Ace Kohler, and then Reese Post, Kyle Kane, Jacob Cass, and Hudson Wheeler. So Brister going to step in here, his first at-bat of the season. Alex Hernandez, the pitcher for Dardanelle, his first pitch, a fastball inside at 89. Gets in on the hands, fouled off by Brister, and the count is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch going to miss down low. Here's the pitch. That ball is going to miss down and away. The count is 2-1. Fastball going to miss away, and the count is 3-1. Brister steps back in, 3-1 count. He leads things off for the Eagles. Mendez going to wind and deliver. That's going to be down and away. So a leadoff walk for Isaiah Brister. It's a runner on first base for the Eagles, and that'll bring up the second baseman, senior Xander Stone. So Stone steps in. Brister gets his lead off at first base. So the count's 1-0. No one away here. Second batter for the Eagles. Brister leads off. Hernandez from the stretch. Gonna wind and deliver. Brister takes off. Throw down to second base is in time. He throws him out. Nice throw down by the catcher, Leon. And the leadoff walk is erased with the throw out at second base. So now one away. I believe that pitch was a ball. So I think the count is 2-0. That one's fouled back. Count's going to move to 2-1. Or 1-2. It's 1-2. So that pitch was a strike on the stolen base attempt. So 1-2, one away here in the bottom of the first. Xander Stone up to bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's going to miss up and away, and the count evens up at 2-2. And as from the windup, here is the 2-2 pitch. That's lined into center field, right at the center fielder. And he squeezes it for the second out. So 2 away now for the Eagles, and that will bring up the pitcher, number 9, Kendall Willis. Willis trying to build off a strong freshman season last year, both on the mound and at the plate. Getting his first at-bat of the season. First pitch, that is a breaking ball that gets away from him and he's going to miss for a ball. fastball is going to be in there. Radar gun saying 87 miles an hour. Count evens up at 1-1. It's going to be a fastball. It's going to miss up. Count goes to 2-1. Two-one pitch, misses up again, and it's 3-1. So 3-1, two-away here. Pitch, that's going to miss up and away for ball 4. So the Eagles get another runner on via walk. And that will bring up the right fielder, senior Preston Elliott, batting cleanup for the Eagles. Throws back over to first. Willis dives in safely. So the first pitch to Elliott is a fastball. And a throw down to first base gets away. Willis gets up, and he will take second base standing up. So the throw down attempt from the catcher trying to pick back on Willis was low, hit him in the leg, it looked like. Willis able to make his way over to second base. That pitch was a ball. So now a runner out in scoring position for the cleanup man, Preston Elliott, here with 2 away. See if he can get a base hit to drive in the run. So the 1-0 pitch, that's a fastball inside on the inside corner for a strike. Kicks back to second base, not going to be in time. Hernandez going to step off as they go back through the signs. Back on the rubber. Gets a signal from his catcher. Sets up. Here is the pitch. That's fouled. Back to the fence. So 1-2 count. So 1-2, here's the pitch. That's flied into left field, back at the wall. Going back, it's going to drop for a base hit. Willis is going to score. Elliott making his way to second, and he's in there standing up. An RBI double from Preston Elliott, and the Eagles take the early lead here in the first inning. Good piece of 2-strike hitting there from the senior. As he got a lot of that one, drove it to the wall. And Conway Christian with a 1-0 lead here early on. So that'll bring in the junior ace Kohler, starting at third base today. First pitch fastball is fouled back and out of play. Elliott, the runner at second base after his RBI double. One strike here on Kohler with 2 away in the first inning. Fastball line down the left field line, and that's going to be a foul ball. Kind of a nonchalant call by the home plate umpire there. But another hard hit ball from the Eagles down the left field line. But it is just a hard hit strike. And now with 2 outs, Kohler has 2 strikes on him. Still try and battle here to keep the inning going. Hernandez from the stretch, set. Here is the pitch. Breaking ball is going to miss outside. And the count goes to 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch, here it is. That's going to miss down and away. And the count evens up at 2-2 for Ace Kohler. Reese Post is on deck for the Eagles. Kohler can find his way on base. That pitch going to miss away, and the count fills up. 3-2, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. The Eagles have already hit across 1 run. Trying to add on to that. Elliott, the runner at second base. Kohler is at the plate. Hernandez comes set. Here is the 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be a breaking ball at the knees for a called strike 3. And that will end the inning. But Preston Elliott, a 2-strike RBI double, gives Conway Christian the early lead. All right, we're back for the top of the second inning. Eagles lead at 1-0. Kendall Willis on the mound for Conway Christian. As his first pitch of the second inning going to be grounded to the second baseman, Xander Stone. And he fields it cleanly, makes the toss over to Kyle Kane, and there, once again, for the second inning in a row, 1 pitch, 1 out for the Eagles. So after that ground ball from the pitcher Hernandez, that'll bring up the center fielder for Dardanelle, Rush Cornwell. First pitch to Cornwell's in there for a strike. The 1 pitch going to be a breaking ball away for ball 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled back to the fence. And the count moves to 1-2. So from the windup, here's the 1-2 pitch from Willis. Breaking ball drops in there for a called strike 3. So 2 up and 2 quickly put out by the Eagles as Willis broke one off there for a backwards K. There's 2 away here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the DH for the Sand Lizards, Jake Miller. Willis starts him off with a breaking ball that drops in there for strike 1. Foul ball back to the fence, and that got Coach Whitson's fancy radar right on the money. But it is a 0-2 count. That pitch going to miss outside, so the count is full. Here with 2 away, as Willis from the windup going to deliver the 3-2 pitch. That's going to be a fastball that misses just outside. So the 2-out walk for Dardanelle puts a runner at first base, and that'll bring up their left fielder, Ian Branson. Miller gets the lead off at first base. A bunt attempt going to be popped foul down the third base line. It drops down, so it's just going to go down as a strike. Throw over to first base. Diving back in safely. From the stretch, Willis looks over to first base. 0-1 count, runner takes off. Check swing, throw down from Post is in time. He throws him out, and that will end the inning. Reese Post with a nice strike down to second base. And a 2-out walk for Dardanelle doesn't result in anything as the Eagles are able to get out of it. So we head to the bottom of the second inning. Conway Christian leads it 1-0. All right, we head to the bottom of the second inning. And Reese Post going to step in to lead things off for Conway Christian. He ended the last inning with that nice throw down to second base. Reese, another sophomore starting for the Eagles. Started last year as a freshman behind the plate, catching almost every game. He's going to watch that first pitch for a strike. Let me clear this scoreboard so y'all can actually see what's going on. One count. The Post, his first at bat of the season. He's going to watch that fastball at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, swung on and missed from Post. Throw down to first to complete the out is going to be in time. We've got one away here in the first. That'll bring up Kyle Kane, one of 3 or 4 seniors starting for Conway Christian today. First baseman for the Eagles. It's his first at-bat. First pitch going to be a fastball at 87 on the corner for strike one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's popped back and out of play. And that'll make the count 0-2. So one away here, the 0-2 pitch to Kane. Breaking ball, that's going to stay up above the shoulders. And he watches it for ball one. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball that stays up, and it's evened up at 2-2. Hernandez from the windup, consistently throwing that fastball at around 87 miles an hour. He's going to try it again. That one looked like a changeup, and it is down in the dirt. So Kane has worked the count from 0-2, and he's worked it full here with one away. He tries to find a way on base to get this inning going for the Eagles. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed on the fastball, 88 miles an hour. Strike three, and there are 2 away here for the Eagles. So that'll bring up the left fielder, Jacob Cass. He steps in for the first time today. First pitch swings at the high fastball for strike one. The 0-1 pitch is going to miss for a ball, so it's a 1-1, 2 away here in the second inning. Mendez comes set. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside, swung on a missed from Cass, and he is behind 1-2. One-two pitch, fastball, swings and misses for strike three, and that'll end the inning. So Nothing doing for the Eagles. 3 batters up, and they all strike out. So we'll head to the 3rd inning. Conway Christian still leads at 1-0. So we hit the top of the 3rd inning. Ian Branson going to lead things off for Dardanelle. He was up to bat last inning when he had that caught stealing. So he'll get another chance at it. First pitch from Willis is going to miss for ball 1. The 0-1 fastball comes in at 80 miles an hour. Misses high, and it is 2-0. First inning, Dardanelle has not put the first pitch in play for an out. Working the count a little bit. That 2-0 pitch is going to be fouled down the first baseline, and it gets just out of play. So 2-1 is the count. Two-one pitch. Going to miss down and in, and the count is 3-1. Three-one pitch, going to be down in the dirt for ball 4, so a leadoff walk for Dardanelle. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, their right fielder, Timmy Murray. First pitch, pickoff, gets away from Kane, gets to the fence. He's going to head to 3rd base, and that throw is not going to get there. So an error on the pickoff attempt, and with nobody out, Dardanelle's got a base runner over at 3rd base. And we'll get a time called here as Coach Whitson will bring the infield in to talk about things, make sure they're all on the same page. So both teams now with an errant pickoff attempt that has gotten a base runner into scoring position. It paid off for the Eagles as Willis was able to score on that double from Elliott in the first. We'll see what Dardanelle can do with a runner at third base here, nobody out. As Willis steps back on the mound from the windup, he comes set. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a bloop base hit for Murray, and that'll score the run. And things are tied up 1-1. So a soft little blooper over the first baseman's head drives in the run. Things are tied up here in the third inning. Nice piece of hitting by the 9-hole hitter, and that'll turn the lineup over to the shortstop, Cam Evans, his first time up. He flew out to left field. Got a runner at first base now, nobody out. That fastball is popped up down the right field line. Kane gets over and gets underneath it to make the catch. So a foul out to the first baseman, and the Eagles have their first out of the inning. That'll bring up the third baseman, Manny Cabra. He had a base hit his first time up over the second baseman's head. One away here. He's got a runner at first base. First pitch fastball is going to stay up for ball one. As Willis unofficially reaches the 30-pitch mark. I say unofficially because I am just doing this manually, and sometimes I forget to do it. But he's somewhere around 30 pitches. That unofficial 31st pitch is going to be in there for a strike, and the count moves to 1-1. Murray, the runner at first base, gets a lead, and that pitch is going to miss high to make the count 2-1. Ground ball back up the middle. Second baseman Stone to the shortstop, Brister, and they turn the double play to get out of the inning. Nice defense for Conway Christian. Stone to Brister on the 4-6-3 double play to get out of it. But Dardanelle, after the leadoff walk and the error, are able to bring a run across to tie things up. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Conway Christian and Dardanelle tied 1-1. We start the bottom of the third as Hudson Wheeler will come up to bat for the Eagles. Center fielder, his first time up today. Gonna watch that first pitch fastball on the corner for strike one. 0-1 pitch from Hernandez. It's going to be another fastball on the outside, but that's going to be just a little outside. And that'll even the count up at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball right around the same spot. 3 times in a row. That one's going to be called a strike. Trying to paint that outside corner, and the count's 1-2. Fastball staying on that outside part of the plate. That one misses a little down and away. Count evens up at 2-2. Here's the pitch fouled back as Wheeler able to stay alive. One away here, the 2-2 count to Hudson Wheeler. As he took something off that one, able to foul it off into the catcher. Count stays at 2-2, so we got time to reset. So the 2-2 pitch, line down the right field line and out of play. Count stays at 2-2. Hernandez comes set. Here's the pitch. That's inside, and the count runs full. 3-2. The 3-2 pitch, that's going to be a ball. This down in the dirt. Wheeler draws a leadoff walk for the Eagles. That'll bring up the leadoff man, Isaiah Brister. Brister drew a walk his first time up and then was thrown out trying to steal second. Hernandez from the stretch is going to come set. The pitch is going to be fouled out of play down the first base line. Brister going to step back in. He looks over to first at Wheeler, who's going to dive back in on the pickoff attempt safely. So the count's 0-1. No one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Another pickoff attempt over at first base. Wheeler dives back in safely. And he's going to try again. Picks off at first base, not in time. Very cautious over there. Very leery of Wheeler, who he should be. Wheeler's got some good speed over there at first base as he gets his lead. And he's going to take off. An off-speed pitch. Throw down, not in time. It got through, but the shortstop backing up, able to keep it in the infield. So after 4 straight pickoff attempts, Wheeler says, I don't care, I'm going anyways. And he is able to successfully steal the base. That was a strike to Brister, so the count does go to 0-2, but a runner moves into scoring position with nobody out here in the third. Mendez is going to step off and reset. Gets the signal from the catcher. Comes set. The 0-2 pitch to Brister is going to be a off-speed pitch that stays up. We think it's 1-2. Might be 2-2. There's 3 of us over here, and we still don't know what the count is, but 2 strikes regardless. That one's going to miss outside for a ball. And I believe the count goes to 2-2. I'm called from Brister, as he felt Hernandez was taking a little too long for him. We step back in, set. Wheeler gets the lead off at second base. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball left side, and Wheeler's going to get stuck in a rundown. And he gets tagged out. So the ground ball to third base got too big of a lead out as he tried to advance to third. Third baseman looked at him, saw him right there, and got him in a rundown. Was able to throw him out. Brister is going to reach on the fielder's choice. So 1 away now, runner at first base. As the Eagles fall victim to some early season base running. Those are some mistakes you tend to see in the first game as you get back into the swing of things. Situational baseball and base running, things like that. Sanders Stone is going to step in for his second at-bat of the day. He fouls that one down the first base line. It's 0-1. Stone lined into an out at center field his first time up. He fouls that one out of play down the third base line. So 2 foul balls either way. Count is 0-2. With 1 out here in the third, Brister the runner at first base. Hernandez comes set. That ball is hitting to the ground to second base. He's going to turn to second. Throw is in time, but the relay over to first base goes into the dugout. So the force out at second base gets Brister, but Stone, who was safe at first, is going to move over to second base himself as that ball went into the dugout. So 2 away here for the Eagles. Stone moves over to second base, and Kendall Willis is going to step in. Willis walked his first time up, and now he's got himself a runner in scoring position with 2 away. See if he can help himself out. So here's the first pitch. Looks like the catcher and pitcher kind of got crossed up there as the pitcher threw a fastball. And Leon, the catcher, had his glove turned over. Looked like he was getting ready to block something down in the dirt that never broke. But no harm, no foul, as he kept it in front of him. And it is just a ball. So 1-0 to Willis. And it does come set. That was a breaking ball, and they were on the same page. And that was a strike. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. Swung on a missed from Willis. The count moves to 1-2. Two away. Stone is the base runner out at second base as Willis steps back in the 1-2 count. One-two pitch, breaking ball, and he looks at it for strike three. So 3 straight curveballs to Willis, and he strikes him out. That'll end the inning. So the Eagles strand a runner out at second base. We'll head to the fourth. Scores tied 1-1. So we hit the fourth inning, score tied here at Conway Christian between the Eagles and Dardanelle, 1-1. Willis back on the mound for the Eagles. His first pitch going to be popped up to the right side. Kane ranges over to the fence, and that's going to get out of play. So the 0-1 count. It's Willis from the windup. Here is the pitch. That's a fastball. It's going to stay up. Count evens up at 1-1. Cam Olson is the batter for the Sand Lizards. He's the first baseman. He's going to foul that fastball back to the backstop. And Willis is ahead 1-2 on the 3-hole for Dardanelle. Here's the 2-strike pitch, breaking ball. That's going to stay up at the letters. And the count goes to 2-2. That ball is lined into the left center gap. That's going to get down. Cass cuts it off, throws it into Brister, and it gets away from him. But a leadoff double from Cam Olson on 2 strikes. And for the second straight inning, Dardanelle's going to have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. That'll bring up the catcher, Baker Leon, who had some hard-hit baseballs his first time up. 2 of them were foul, and 1 was caught right over by the wall by Preston Elliott in right field. First pitch to Leon's a breaking ball down in the dirt for ball one. One-0 pitch. It'll be a fastball away. That stays outside, so the count moves to 2-0. We've also completely lost count of the pitch count for Kendall. So again, this is not official, but that pitch is going to miss outside again. So the count is 3-0 to Leon. He swings at the 3-0 pitch and fouls it straight down to the plate for strike one. Aggressive hitting there from Leon to the 3-0 count. But you can tell just from his first two at-bats, he is a hitter. Likes to swing the bat, and he can hit the ball hard. So 3-1 count, still a hitter's count. Lines that one into the dirt to the first baseman, Kane. He steps on the bag to record the first out. The runner will advance to third base. But a 3-0 count turns into an out for the Eagles. One away for Conway Christian, and that'll bring up the pitcher for Dardanelle, Alex Hernandez. First pitch is a ball. So 1-0. That pitch, high fastball, hit to the wall over the center fielder, Hudson Wheeler. That's going to score a run. And an RBI double from Alex Hernandez gives Dardanelle the lead. So runner at second base, still one away. That'll bring up the center fielder, Rush Cornwell. One away here in the top of the fourth, 2-1 Dardanelle. They just took the lead on the RBI double. Still a runner in scoring position. That first pitch fastball is up and in on the hand, swung on and missed. Oh, and 1 the count. Willis steps back on the rubber from the stretch. Set. Here's the pitch, popped up behind the plate and out of play. And Kendall quickly had 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Stopped by Post, throws it down. Brought Kane off the bag a little bit, but he's able to corral it. Step back on the base, so the strikeout for Kendall. And the throw out from Post. There's 2 away. The runner did stay at second base, so no harm done there on that strikeout in the dirt. There's 2 away. As the DH, Jake Miller, will step up for Dardanelle. Brister holds on at second base, and Kendall is going to step off and reset. from the stretch. Willis looks to second. Now he comes home. Fastball stays up for ball one. That pitch going to miss away for ball two. You look around the field for the Eagles, just the first game of the season, very similar look to last year. The infield is largely unchanged. Stone and Brister have switched spots at second and shortstop, but same people, same middle infield. That ball's hit into center field, fly ball, is going to be caught by Wheeler, and he's going to end the inning. So one run comes across for Dardanelle as they take the lead 2-1. We'll be back here in just a minute for the bottom of the fourth. All right, we start the bottom of the fourth inning. Preston Elliott going to lead things off for the Eagles. As he swings and misses at the first pitch. Talking about it as we end the last inning. Conway Christian's, our lineup largely the same as last year's. That pitch is in there for a strike. Counts 0-2. Elliott started every game last year for the Eagles out in right field. He's there again this year. Hudson Wheeler out in center field. The only real change in the field is in left field, as Elliott's going to swing and miss at that pitch for the first out. As last year's starter Bryce Keithley graduated, and now, at least today, Jacob Cass gets the start. But I know there are several guys they'll probably look at, but Jacob has done a decent job so far. Caught the one ball hit out to him and had a pretty good at bat. As Ace Kohler, another returning starter for the Eagles, going to step in. He watches the first pitch for a ball. Be interesting to see what happens next inning on the mound, as Kendall's up there in the mid-40s on pitches. That ball gets inside and does not hit him. So it's 1-1. Early inning, first game of the season. I know Coach Whitson and Coach Hitchcock were talking about trying to stay around that 40-pitch mark for all their pitchers that throw tonight. That pitch is fouled back to the fence. Non-conference game, season opener, and you really, at this point in the season, you're just trying to get your arms, start stretching your arms out as you work closer to the conference games. It does look like the Eagles have someone out in the bullpen that looks like Cam Elder. That is way down the line. That pitch is going to get way inside over the head of Kohler. So 2 pitches that were nowhere close. And the count moves to 3-1 with 1 away. Conway Christian, you know, returning, like we said, a lot of people. They lost Eli Brandon, who went on to Washita Baptist to play baseball, lost Bryce Keithley and some other pieces, but a lot of people coming back, a lot of new faces on the team as Kohler able to draw the 1-out walk on that pitch at the knees. And that'll bring up Reese Post, who struck out swinging his first time up. So a lot of potential on this team for the Eagles, a lot of promise. I know they have high expectations for themselves. You know, getting to the state tournament last year, something that hadn't been done in 6 years here at Conway Christian. And they're looking to build off of that. A regional tournament championship, district runner-up, all those things. They've got, obviously, on the mound, Kendall coming back after a strong freshman season, Ace, and then we'll see kind of where they go from there. As the pickoff over to first base is not going to be in time. You know, we mentioned one of the changes that happened there in the middle was flipping Brister and Stone. We'll see if that's something that lasts all season, but I do know that Zander has been dealing with a shoulder injury. Don't know if he'll be able to pitch this year, but just seeing him out there being able to, you know, play, even if it's second base. You know, he was the starter at shortstop last year. But seeing him out there, it's great to see the senior who is going to go on and play at the next level. As the pickoff over to first base not can be in time. So we'll see how things shake out here for the Eagles. They got 3 games scheduled this week, including this one. Obviously, a lot of rain forecast later in the week, so we'll see if they're able to get those in. Swinging fastball, throw down to first base is close, but Kohler able to sneak back in under the tag. The count's 1-2 with 1 away. Here to Post, Kyle Kane on deck. We're in the bottom of the 4th. It's 2-1 Dardanelle. Ace Kohler is the base runner over at first base. Breaking ball with 2 strikes, swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's 2 away. That'll bring up first baseman Kyle Kane. With 2 away. First pitch to Kane's a fastball on the outside. And that's going to miss for ball 1. Also to note, as the sun starts to go down, there is a bank of lights out in right field. So we'll see how that comes into play as this game moves along, because there will be some shadows out there, to say the least, as Kane swings and misses at that pitch to make it 1-1. Hernandez going to come set from the stretch. That pitch is swung on and fouled out of play to the right side. And the count's 1-2. So 2 away, 2 strikes here on Kyle Kane. Kohler gets a lead off at first base. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Breaking ball that got away from him over the head. And the count evens up at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's going to miss up and in. And the count runs full. So full count, 2 away. Kohler will be moving, so we can get a ball in play Well, at least get him with third base. Ball in the gap will likely score him. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fouls it, but it is hung on to by the catcher. And that will end the inning with a strikeout. So Eagles get a base runner, but nothing doing from that. We'll head to the 5th inning. Dardanelle leads it 2-1. We are back for the start of the 5th inning. And there is a change on the mound for Conway Christian as Cam Elder, the sophomore, is going to take over for Kendall Willis. So Kendall goes 4 innings, allows just 2 runs, 4 hits. So a pretty good debut for Willis. And Cam will take over. Some changes out in the field. Kendall's going to move over to third base. Ace Kohler will move over to shortstop, and then Isaiah Brister bumps back out to left field as Jacob Cass is going to come off the field. At first pitch from Cam is going to miss down and away for ball 1. One-0 pitch, like a changeup or off speed of some kind as that stays up. 2-0. That pitch is in there at the knees for strike 2, or strike 1, sorry. Counts 2-1. Fastball going to miss away, and it counts 3-1 to the leadoff man for Dardanelle, their left fielder, Ian Branson. Branson scored the first run of the game for Dardanelle after a leadoff double. Or actually, it was I think it was a leadoff walk, and then he advanced on an error on a pickoff to third base. Swings and misses that one as the count runs full. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's going to be a ball down in the dirt. So the leadoff man reaches on a walk. And that'll bring up the number 9 batter for the Sand Lizards, Timmy Murray, the right fielder. He had the RBI base hit after that aforementioned walk / error. Little blooper over the right field, over the first baseman's head into right field. First pitch bunted back to the pitcher. Elder's going to field it, throw to first, get the out. So sack bunt from Timmy Murray advances the runner to second base. The Eagles do get the out. So runner at second now. One away. And that'll bring up the leadoff man, Cam Evans, their shortstop. Elder from the stretch comes home. That's down in the dirt for ball one. Reese going to call times, goes out to talk to his pitcher. Settle him down a little bit. 8 pitches so far from Cam. He has thrown pretty 50-50 balls and strikes. I think he's at 5 balls, 3 strikes. So the count's 1-0 here, 1 away. That one's going to say just, oh no, he called it a strike. Sorry, this umpire's got a little bit of a delayed call. So the count evens up at 1-1. Here is that pitch. That's down below the knees for ball 2. Two-one pitch is going to be just low. And the count's 3-1. Manny Cabra on deck for Dardanelle. 3-1 pitch, and that's going to miss for a ball. So another walk for Dardanelle, and runners are now at first and second, 1 away. Does set up the force at any base. So Manny Cabra, third baseman, going to step in. Cam's going to come set from the stretch. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Runners take off, throw down to third, and he comes off the base, tags him out, and there's 2 away. Nice job by Kendall, as I think the runner might have just beat the tag, but overslid the base, and Kendall stayed with him, tagged him out. That was a strike, so the count is 0-2 with 2 away. The runner from first did advance to second. Playing on this turf, if you're not used to it, that is a side effect. You can go a little bit as you slide. It doesn't act just like dirt. Cam with a breaking ball on the 0-2 pitch. Nice little breaking ball. It's going to miss for a ball, but a nice spot. Count is 1-2. Runner at second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to miss outside, and the count evens up at 2-2. Two-two pitch, grounded to the right side. Stone slides, makes the catch, throws to first, and that ends the inning. Nice play by Xander Stone out there at second base, ranging to his left, sliding, gloving the ball, makes the nice throw to Kane, and the inning is over. So a couple base runners for Dardanelle, but no damage done as Cam Elder pitches his way out of it. Score stays the same. It is 2-1 Dardanelle as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Welcome back as we get ready to start the bottom of the 5th inning. We got a pitching change for Dardanelle, as taking over for Alex Hernandez is going to be number 10, Rush Cornwell, who started the game out in center field. Defensively, it looks like Alex Hernandez is going to move over to first base. Their first baseman, Cam Olson, moves out to left field. I believe that's the only two changes. So Cornwell's first pitch going to miss inside. A bit of a sidearm delivery here. Got good movement on his pitches. Batting for Conway Christian's Cam Elder, who takes over in the lineup for Jacob Cass after coming on to pitch. So Cass out of the lineup now. Elder is first at bat of the game as he swings and misses at that last pitch. So it's 1-1. That sidearm little two-seam fastball is in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch, breaking ball, strike 3 looking, and there's one away. That'll bring up the center fielder for Conway Christian, Hudson Wheeler. Wheeler reached by a walk last time up and then stole second base before eventually getting caught in a rundown and tagged out on a fielder's choice. He watches the first pitch for a ball. One-oh pitch. That sidearm delivery is going to drop in side at the feet for ball 2. So ahead in the count, 2-0. We'll see what Hudson chooses to do here, what his approach is. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a fastball in the outside corner. It's at 70 miles an hour. Called strike, and it's 2-1. Brister, the leadoff man, is on deck for the Eagles. That pitch swung on and missed, and the count evens up at 2-2. There's the 2-2 pitch, line right at the shortstop, a leaping grab. Nice play by the shortstop. Cam Evans out there. Hard hit ball from Hudson, but it's corralled, and there are 2 away now here in the 5th. So Brister steps in for his 3rd at bat. Got on by a walk and a fielder's choice. So officially 0 for 1. As Cornwell comes set. Pitch outside, ball 1. Swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. That ball was down and away. So 1-1 two-way here in the bottom of the 5th. Dardanelle leads Conway Christian 2-1. Slider away. Makes it 2-1. That 2-1 pitch drops down below the knees, and it is 3-1. Xander Stone on deck. 3-1 pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, and it is a full count. Brister trying to reach with 2 outs to keep the inning going. Here's the pitch. Ground ball down the third base line, foul. So the count stays at 3-2. Cornwell comes set. Here's the sidearm delivery. Ground ball left side. Shortstop ranges over. Gloves it. Throws to first. And he's off the bag. So Brister reaches. And with 2 away, that'll bring up Xander Stone. We're gonna call that a hit, as that was a tough play. Brister got good speed. So we'll see what Xander can do with a base runner on, 2 away. Brister with a fake steal. Don't know if it was supposed to be a fake steal. Looked like he got a great jump and kind of got a little nervous about it. It was such a good jump. First pitch was a ball to Stone, and now Stone's going to take off. That ball's going to hit, or Brister takes off, it hits Stone in the foot. So 2 away, and now Kendall Willis coming up to bat as the Eagles try and work a little bit of a 2-out rally here. Base runners now at first and second. Willis steps in. He struck out his last time up. Got great power in his bat. He's got good speed on the bases with Brister and Stone. Ball in the gap would likely score them both. Base hit would most likely score 1, so we'll see what he can do. 2 away here. Cornwell comes set, delivers. Breaking ball is in there for strike 1. So 0-1 here is the pitch. That's down in the dirt, kept in front by Leon. Nice job behind the plate to keep those runners where they're at. Count moves to 1-1. Come set from the stretch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to stay outside for ball 2. So 2-1, 2 away. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ball outside, and the count's 3-1. Preston Elliott is on deck. Eagles got a run in the first inning and have not been able to do anything since. They've had a couple base runners, but unable to really manufacture anything. This is one of their best looks since that first inning run, as Willis fouls off the 3-1 pitch to make it 3-2. And with the full count 2 away, the runners will be moving. So a base hit will definitely score 1. 3-2, 2 away. Here is the pitch. That's going to be way outside. Gets to the backstop, but bounces right back to the catcher. Runners were moving, but they stay at second and third. Bases are going to be loaded now here with 2 away. All of this done with 2 outs. And that brings up Preston Elliott, the cleanup hitter for the Eagles. So an infield hit, a hit by pitch, and a walk as the Eagles with the bases loaded after Dardanelle was able to get to 2 outs after a strikeout and then a line out to the shortstop. We'll see what Preston can do here. Another great bat for the Eagles, coming off a really good year last year. He'll step in with a great opportunity here to at least tie the game, possibly give Conway Christian the lead with a base hit. Rister's the runner at third, Stone is the runner at second, and Kennel the runner at first. First pitch breaking ball in there at the knees for a strike. So it's 0-1. Nice slider from that sidearm angle. But not a pitch you want to swing at. First pitch at the at-bat. So Elliott steps back in. Cornwell comes set. That pitch grounded softly to the shortstop. He gloves, throws to first, and he gets the out. So the Eagles load the bases with 2 outs, but are unable to ring a run across. So we'll head to the 6th inning. Dardanelle leads Conway Christian 2-1. We get ready to start the top of the 6th inning. Dardanelle leading the Eagles 2-1. As each team now just 2 at-bats remaining in this so far low-scoring affair. Eagles had a chance in the last inning as they loaded the bases with 2 outs, but could not get the hit they needed to tie the game, so the score stays where it is. Conway Christian scored 1 in the first and have been shut out since then. Dardanelle scored a run in the third and a run in the fourth. That, as is where we're at right now. So we head to the 6th. Cam Elder still on the mound for Conway Christian. He gets ready for his first pitch of the inning. That's going to be a fastball down at 71 miles an hour. Leading things off for Dardanelle is going to be their now left fielder Cam Olson. Pops that one to the left side. Ace Kohler ranges over, makes the play, and there's one away. And that'll bring up their catcher, Baker Leon, who his first at bat hit the ball very hard down the right field line a couple times, eventually resulting in a hard hit out to the right fielder, and then his second time up grounded softly to the first baseman. So he is 0 for 2 as he watches that first pitch for ball 1. That pitch stays up, and it's 2-0. Pitch. Stays up, and it is 3-0. So 3 pitches, all of them kind of staying up in the zone. Rio pitch, he swings at it, ground ball to the second baseman. Stone backhands, throws to first, and there's 2 away. So after 3 balls, Leon swinging 3-0. Rounds softly to the right side, gets out. So now 2 up, 2 away, as that'll bring up the now first baseman Alex Hernandez, who started the game on the mound. That pitch is down and away for ball 1. One 0 pitch in there for strike 1. Ground ball right side. Stone, the second baseman, gloves, throws, and they retire the side. So 3 up, 3 down. Nice job by Cam Elder and the Eagle defense. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Dardanelle leads it 2-1. We are back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Ace Kohler going to lead things off for the Eagles. First pitch in there for strike 1. Rush Cornwell stays on the mound for Dardanelle. His 2nd inning, got 2 quick outs and then got into some trouble, loaded the bases, but got out of it as that 0-1 pitch is called for strike 2. Breaking ball stays off the plate. Ace able to hold up a swing, and it's 1-2. As the sun really going down now, you can start to see the effects of that light pole being out. You can still, there's still light out there, so it's not pitch black, but it does have some weird shadows. Little blooper to the right side. Right fielder coming in. It's going to drop between the second baseman and right fielder, so a little bloop single with 2 strikes by Kohler, and the Eagles have the leadoff runner on. Now bring up Reese Post. That's the 3rd hit of the day for the Eagles. Cornwell comes set from the stretch. Pitches inside. Kohler takes off running, and he throws him out. So that leadoff single wiped out on the caught stealing. And there's one away. The pitch was called for a strike. That ball stays inside, just misses hitting Reese, and it's 1-1. That fastball at 72 is going to stay way outside, and it's 2-1. Line drive up the middle, base hit. Reese post, nice piece of hitting. Got a pitch he liked. Down the middle, hit it back up the middle. And with one out, the Eagles have a runner back on first base. And that'll bring in a courtesy runner for the first time. And that's going to be the freshman Creed Hildebrand, it looks like. So one away, Hildebrand now the runner for post at first base, and that'll bring up Kyle Kane. That breaking ball stays inside, ball one. One-0 fastball in at 72, but it is called a ball as it was low and outside. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, Eagles trailing Dardanelle 2-1. And this season opener pickoff to first base had Hildebrand leaning a little bit, but he's able to get back. The throw was a little bit high. That's way outside, going to get to the backstop. Hildebrand takes off, and he'll be standing up at second base. So 3-0 count, runner moves to second. Still just one away. We're likely to see Kyle take at least one pitch here. See if he can make Cornwell throw him a strike. Cam Elder on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's going to be outside, ball four. And Kyle Kane draws the 4-pitch walk. That'll put runners at first and second, still one away. And that'll bring up sophomore Cam Elder. And we'll get a mound visit. And it looks like Cornwell's day is going to be done as we'll have a pitching change. We'll tell you about that when we come back. It's 2-1 Dardanelle. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Eagles with runners on. All right, Cam Elder going to step in here. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 2 runners on for the Eagles, 1 away. New pitcher for Dardanelle. Do not have his name, number 16. First pitch fastball is tipped into the glove for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Come set. That one stays up and in for ball 1. Cam was not flinching on that. Willing to take the hit. Reed Hildebrand is the runner at second base. He's the courtesy runner for Reese Post, who had a base hit earlier this inning. Kyle Kane walked, and he's the runner at first base. 1-1 pitch is inside on the corner for strike 2. Pitcher comes set. It's 1-2. To Elder. Here's the pitch. Down in the dirt for a ball. Nice job by Leon. Keeps it in front. Count runs even to 2-2. Come set, here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, drops in there for called strike 3. So now 2 away, and that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Hudson Wheeler. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Runners stay. Eagles looking for a big base hit here. Come set, pitch. Tried to check his swing, he couldn't. So the count's even at 1-1. Brister, the leadoff man, he is on deck. If Hudson can find his way on base. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. One and two. 2 away here. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Swings and misses, and that will end the inning. So the Eagles threaten again, but unable to drive in the runs. We'll head to the 7th. Dardanelle leads it 2-1. We hit the 7th inning. Dardanelle leading Conway Christian 2-1. We got a new pitcher for the Eagles. It is Isaiah Brister. So that will create some movement. As Brister was in left field, he comes onto the mound. I believe Jacob Cass has been reinserted out in left field. I believe is the only change. That first pitch from Brister fouled back. Post goes out to Dr. Brister. Quick timeout. Make sure they're on the same page. That fastball in there at 81 makes it 0-2. That one misses away. Makes it 1-2. Isaiah works fast on the mound. He comes set. Throws home. Fastball at the knees. Called strike 3. And there's a 1 away. Strike 1 called. 84 on the gun. That 0-1 pitch down there in the dirt. Evens it up at 1-1. Little knob shot rolls foul, and it is 1-2. Breaking ball, ground ball, left side, gets through the hole, and that's a 1-out base hit. So runner on first base, 1 away. Brister pitching from the stretch now, comes set. Throws home. That ball is going to miss inside for ball 1. Fastball strike called. Evened up at 1-1. Ball gets to the backstop, bounces back to post. But he's not going to have a play, so the runner advances to second. Count moves to 2-1. Brister looks back to second, comes set, throws home. Called strike. That'll even it up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, fastball is fouled off on the hands. Stays at 2-2. That run out at second base could be an important one as Dardanelle hanging on to a 2-1 lead as we're in the final inning. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. And there's 2 away. And that'll bring up the 9-hole right fielder Timmy Murray. Got one of the 2 RBI for the Sand Lizards. Ground ball to the shortstop. Going to be gloved. Bobbled, thrown to first, and that's going to get past the first baseman, Kane, and into the dugout. So a run will come across. And the runner will advance to second. So Dardanelle able to capitalize on the throwing error. Second of the day for the Eagles, and it is now 3-1 as the top of the order comes up. Runner out at second base. Big run for Dardanelle there. Stretch their lead to 2. First pitch from Brister's in the dirt, going to scoot past post. And the runner's going to advance out over to third base. As we're going to get a timeout here to kind of, Coach Whitson goes out to try and settle things down. We'll take a quick break and be right back. It's 3-1 Dardanelle here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. All right, that mound visit comes to an end. Got a runner at third base with 2 away here in the 7th. Dardanelle tries to add on to their lead. The 1-0 count. Pitch from Brister fouled back to the fence. That 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, so count moves to 2-1. Fastball is in there for a called strike 2. So 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Runner over there at third base. Here's the pitch from Brister, a breaking ball. Got him to swing and miss, thrown down to first, and that'll end the inning. So Dardanelle able to scratch across an insurance run, but Brister with a strikeout to get out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Conway Christian with a little bit of work to do, down 3-1. We hit the bottom of the 7th inning. Eagles trail Dardanelle 3-1. They got the top of the order coming up with Isaiah Brister to lead things off. First pitch line right at the second baseman. Hard hit ball. A perfect positioning, and there's one quick out. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Xander Stone. Tries to get things going here for the Eagles. First pitch stays up for ball 1. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a breaking ball in the dirt. Moves to 2-1. Eagles have Kendall Willis on deck, followed by Preston Elliott and Ace Kohler. Reese Post, if they can get to that point. They need base runners first. 2-1 pitch to Stone, swung on, foul tipped for strike 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. And the count's full at 3-2. Need base runners any way you can get them right now. Got some bats coming up that can change the game in a hurry with one swing. Xander, one of those bats as well. Here's the 3-2 pitch, ground ball right side. Second baseman slides over to a knee, throws to first, and gets the out. There's 2 away. So a line out to the second baseman and a ground out to the second baseman, and the Eagles down to their final out as Kendall Willis will step into bat. He tries to keep the game alive for the Eagles. Preston Elliott on deck. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball fouled back out of play. Oh, 1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Kendall trying to stay alive here. And the 0-2 breaking ball is laid off. Count goes to 1-2. Fastball fouled back out of play. That pitch swung on and missed, and that's going to be the end of the ball game. Dardanelle takes down the Eagles 3-1 in the season opener. As we look at the final tallies, Eagles scored to start the game in the bottom of the first. Take 1-0 lead. Dardanelle would tie it in the third, take the lead in the fourth, and then add on to that lead in the first. Each team with 4 hits, 2 errors in the field. Conway Christian just unable to get the timely hit when they had runners in the scoring position. Got some good pitching from Kendall Willis, who was able to battle a little bit. Cam Elder, same thing, and then Isaiah Brister came in, close things out. So some positives to draw from, but the Eagles dropped the home opener, season opener, and will fall to 0-1 to start the season. They will be back in action this Thursday at home against Pottsville. Obviously, pending the weather. There is rain in the forecast, but if the game is on, we will be on as well to bring it to you here on the Conway Christian Sports Network. We thank you for joining us tonight. Your final score, Dardanelle 3, Conway Christian 1.